9 core representatives from Hudy today.
All right, Mike's shot. I'm always glad to see him in the morning. He also brought his son John, Connie Wagner, and Tony Plank, and Bob Schwarking, and they're just all here.
Yeah.
I bet nobody's manning the brewery today.
What's
No.
Sunday? Not supposed to,
That's
huh?
right. You're looking at Mike Niehaus. He will be facing Jerry Eckel, who rolled an impressive 237 in our first game. And Niehaus does not get started the way you like to.
No, you don't want to open the show with a 2-4-5-8. Too many ways to walk away with this with 9 count.
Mike is 37 years old. He's a technician at P&G.
And it's perfect right there.
That's a good-looking shot.
It was good looking.
Well, Mike Niehaus throws very little hook, so that means he has to be very accurate with his first ball, Tommy, and his spare game is normally one of his strong points, but once he gets lined up, he can throw strikes with anybody, but accuracy is the key to Mike Niehaus's game.
Jerry Eckel looks to be lined up from last game, and bam, 10 more down. Putting a hammer on those pins down there.
Exactly. Other than the one ball in the 7th frame of the first game, Jerry Eckel has been flush in the hole every shot. Jerry Eckel, a picture of concentration, very deliberate player. We've mentioned that many times. But that's what he's developed, and it seems to work for him. 237, as you mentioned, a winner in the first game.
We kid Jerry a little bit like he's doing the duck walk up there approaching. Pound the duck walk or not, it works. You knock 10 down, you can crawl up there.
That's exactly right, whatever it takes. Crowd's a little alive here this morning. You feel that?
It is.
Well, they were hooting and hollering. We were opening up the show, and good crowd.
Probably a lot of rooters for Mike Niehaus, too. They seem to come out and root for each other, their gang that they hang around. Mike made the show last year here at Penn House, and the last this Sunday did the same thing this year.
Oh!
The Love Tap 10. What you're going to see on this is the 6-pin working overtime. Now watch, the ball's going to deflect a little bit. Go to the right after it hits a head pin. Now right here, now watch it deflect. That's a 3-pin going straight back. That's a 6-pin going to the channel. Into the channel now. Which way are you going to fall? Huh? There you go.
All right.
Out of here.
Mike's married with 5 children. He doesn't look old enough to have 5 children. I don't believe that.
Wow, he's getting some help. Looks like those pins, David, are starting to liven up a bit.
A light mixer. Well, I tell you what, I hate to admit we make mistakes, but we did it. We were advised in the break that the new pins that they had in originally were taken out, and the regular pins are back in, and therefore we can't use that as an excuse.
Okay, well, hey, it doesn't matter. Like you said, you know, you make a mistake, you make a mistake. What can you do? Jerry Eckel's not making many.
No, not at all. Both players are looking comfortable here in St. Bernard.
Got that Ford probe sitting out in the parking lot right as we speak.
Jen, now see, you know, Jen,
Is that a voodoo?
well, you brought it up last game after Kerry had knocked down the first 4, and now Jerry's knocked down the first 3.
Oh, I feel terrible.
Oh, I would too, and we're going to make you feel that way today, Jen, if he misses this shot right here. So, Jerry, you can turn that look of concentration over Jen's way if you happen to miss this one.
Why'd you have to say that? I feel horrible.
Well,
Make me wrong, Jerry. Make me wrong.
I'm glad it was somebody else for a change.
All right, I don't believe in that stuff anyway.
Yeah, we don't either.
Jerry doesn't.
The cleat can't factor.
Yep, that's right. You know what? That is a very good point.
Touche.
And I'm in the middle. I'm getting the heck out of the way.
That's right.
Week 7, Jerry Eckel, lane 9, Penn House lanes. Makes a lot of these, and he makes this one. I'd like to mention, too, I went out to Collie Lanes yesterday to bowl a shift. The place looks fantastic. Just done absolute wonders with the establishment out there, and that allowed Don Waddell to shoot 740 and Dave Forward to be in the 2nd position with 728 as you look at the sheet there, a little early in the going, but Glenn has done a fantastic job with a small establishment the way it is. Cleaned it up, put some new carpet down. It looks great. You got to go out and see it.
It does. I'm in total agreement. I was also there. It is a very nice center.
And hopefully you folks at home will come out and join us to take a look for yourself next week. We would love to have you out there. Our crowds this year keep growing and growing each week.
Take a chance on that golden ball, which next week will be worth $1,000.
Amen to that. Well, Michael picks up the spare, and we, once again, just like the last match, we've got a good one going.
11 pins. The difference right now, 11 pins can be eaten up in one frame in a big, big hurry. Today's alternate should have been Roy Chesbro, but he decided to bag it and get out of here. So who we got keeping score?
Let's see here. I think we have Marty Wentzler, our standby this morning, replacing Roy Chesbro. Maybe Roy had to get out of here and go qualify over at Holly Lane.
Might be it. Wait a minute.
He lost.
Gonna work.
Well, I tell you what, he lost on a brilliant game. 225 to 253 in the roll-off to allow Jerry to come on. And watch this shot. You want to see a bad break? You got one right here. The Stone 9. A little high. Not this time. Watch the ball go to the left right there after it catches the 3-pin. Just missing it. Now he's got another shot at it. Not enough momentum to take it down. Stone 9. Mike Niehaus needed that one.
That was a blind scout, wasn't it?
That was a blind scout. Weak scout, too.
Well, the all-important spare shooting, and Mike picks it up. We're going to step out. Got a good one going for you, so please don't you dare go away from us. We're in the fifth.
At LaRue last week, Bob Schoemer shot a 221, defeating the King Ron Pollard to become our reigning champ. Lee's famous recipe salutes Bob Schoemer on becoming this week's King of Bowling.
There you take a look at one of the Bettinghouse brothers there, right there, the gentleman with a beard, Mike McDonald, and Tony Plank, the gentleman with the cigar and the glasses from Hudipole. Mike shot there with his
son John.
Yes.
Yeah.
Son John there with the camera around his neck, ready to take some good pictures.
Yeah, I asked him to take a picture of me before we started the show. He said, "You don't have a good side."
Sharp kid at a very young age.
I can't believe it.
Sharp kid. Harry Eckel.
Oh, no. That may be one of the strongest 7-pins we've ever seen. Let's watch it. The 6-pin again, second one from the left-hand side of your screen. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. It stays low, then it hits the side, goes up and around so fast. Solid 7. Jerry Eckel did everything he could to strike on that ball.
You know, it's amazing when you watch it on the slow-mo that it can actually miss that 7.
Believe me, when you watch it normal and you're bowling, you can't believe it. But that's one of the amazing things about the great, great game of bowling. There's so many variables, there's so many things to learn, and when you watch the game, as you, our viewers, have an opportunity to watch it at home in a little bit slower motion than it normally happens, I think it's more enjoyable, and the cards and letters have been coming and indicate that. We thank you for your praise.
David, is there a particular type of bowler who, due to his form or due to the way the revolutions on the ball, they're not going to have that hard 7 or soft 7 more or less than another bowler?
Well, you touched on it, Tommy, and you're absolutely right. Speed is probably the predominant factor in carrying the corners. You saw where that pin went up and around. A slower ball would not allow that pin to go up quite that quickly. But again, with the urethane, that's not easy to say. Urethane balls that we're using nowadays, they hit the pin so hard anyway that you're going to get that sometimes.
There you see it right there. Mike Niehaus clearing the decks.
Mike Niehaus needs this one to stay within 11 pins. This is it. He throws a great shot. 5 pins. Second one back middle of your screen. Now watch it right here. Exit stage left. Is the 7-pin going to stand? No way. Out of here.
Mike Niehaus, impressive-looking shot right there, and he's going to try to make it a double. Lets it fly and looks good.
A little bit light on the left lane. He knows it. Was not very happy. You could even hear it on the down lane camera. Nope. Flipped his hand over, and when you do that, guys and gals at home, you kill the roll on the ball. It will not hook. It's not going to come up. You're looking at the 2, 4, 5. Not the easiest spear in the world, Tommy.
Well, it's like you were talking about, Dave, when you talked about Mike's style of bowling. He doesn't have a whole lot of hook on it, so he's got to be right on the numbers.
You bet. You bet. He's got to split his mark in half. When you go out to practice or bowl in your league, don't just look at an area. How many of you can remember what board you hit? Think about it.
It is very important. And as you throw the ball, make sure which board it rolls over so you can make a correction if need be.
That's right. So many of us go out. And if you're going out to have some fun, that's fine. Just have a lot of fun. But if you want to go out and you're going to do some serious bowling, there you see the creeper, as he's nicknamed. Watch that target area and split it. A big, big double for Jerry Eckel. Changes the complexion of the match completely. Goes from 11 pins down to 21 pins down. Jerry Eckel is now in the driver's seat with 3 frames to go.
Jerry's 50 years old, and he says he's having the best year of his life, which I think is important because bowling is a sport that can be endured.
Without a doubt. As a matter of fact, here's a piece of information for you. Jerry has had 6 300 games, but here's the kicker. All were rolled after the age of 43. So this guy, like a fine wine, is getting better with age. Bam! 10 more.
Well, he's really putting the pressure on Mike.
Mike Niehaus has not been solidly in the pocket for the majority of his shots. And this is the thing you look for, Tommy, when you're looking to see if anyone's got an edge. Advantage Jerry Eckel. 237 his first game. Every shot this game, right flush in the 1-2. Mike's been going with the light swisher, the little heavier 9. Now this is a good shot. Very good shot right there. That's the kind of shot he's going to have to make 4 more times to put any pressure on Jerry Eckel.
Our top woman qualifier from yesterday was Julie Pruitt, with a 631 series. And our top youth was Randy Anderson, 673. And, of course, that is coming to you from Holly Lanes.
Boy, as we've talked about many times on this show, what a fine, fine youth crop of youngsters we have throughout the greater Cincinnati area.
Actually, our age average today is a lot higher than it's been in the past. Wow.
Well, we told you he had to do it 4 more times. That's 1. He's got to throw 3 in the 10th, but let's watch this one. This is a ripper, a Red Sea we call it. No deflection or very little deflection. He kind of likes it. Yeah, it's going to catch a roll, deflect a little, catch the 5, 5 into the 7. There you go. They're out of here, and there's a scout going across just in case he missed something.
He's thinking to himself, man, I need 3 more of those, 2 more of those. Gotta have it. But Jerry Eckel, if he continues to roll the way he has during the first game and thus far in this one, you can take it to the bank.
A little high, a little high. The first mistake he's really made, and it was so minor that he almost carried it out anyway. 9th frame, critical frame. Let's watch it. So you're going to squeeze a little bit. He's not going to trust it quite as much as he has been. The ball's going to go high. The head pin's going to go straight back. There you see the 3 pin going to the wall, taking out the 10. The 6 pin is left. Jerry Eckel has now lost the advantage, or at least the capability of closing out the match. Mike Niehaus can still win.
He cannot take this for granted at all. After we saw what happened in the first game, but Eckel remains consistent, picks up that spare. He's looking at the score sheet. He's trying to figure out what he has to do here in the 10th.
I'll tell you what, we've got the possibility of a tie. First one of the year, if. Catch this. This is pretty complicated. Okay.
All right.
If Jerry Eckel strikes out in the 10th frame, it will give him 237. If Mike Niehaus takes it to the wall, 237.
So strikes the rest of the way, and this one's a tied match.
Yep, and we go to a 9th and 10th frame roll-off.
Jerry Eckel looking for 10 down, and there they go.
Remember, he cannot shut Mike Niehaus out but he can ensure himself of not losing either.
Told you a couple of weeks ago, Jerry enjoys woodworking. He has been competing in King qualifiers for 20 years. He's made the show 69, 74, 79, and 87.
Actually, and Dave just threw his pencil into his coffee. He did make an error, but he's so great it doesn't matter. This will lock him out, though. The second one in the 10th will lock him out. But
hey, he's got to make it.
That's it.
Well, he did. And Dave, it's okay. We still like you.
I don't. Right. I don't like
your math teacher. Probably doesn't.
We'll keep your pen's
like
wet.
But make mistakes like that. That's crazy. I apologize for the people at home. We've got 2 official score sheets, and then there's mine.
Thank goodness yours isn't the official.
I better start watching the official ones. I'll tell you.
Well, Jerry Eckel will go on to meet our king, Bob Schoemer, in the final match for the kingship.
That should be a good one.
For
very good.
$750 to the king.
So Jerry Eckel, as Jim just told you, he is going to move on. Kiss that one. Fine round of applause for Mr. Eckel. Mike Niehaus is going to step up there and finish up in his half of the 10th.
That really, I mean, I'm disappointed.
You so seldom make mistakes, Dave. We're going to give you one. Okay. That's the last one.
Okay, all right.
You're out next time.
Dave, the rookie on our telecast, getting on you now. You going to take this kind of abuse?
Well, I have to.
His tie.
I have to right now. You know. When you mess up, you just got to pay the piper. So I'll sit back and take it. 246 for Jerry Eckel. Mike Niehaus can finish out with 237.
And of course, that will better our TV average, which at this time is 221 through 54 games.
Well, see, Dave, you're okay. You didn't get the strike.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's immaterial. No,
you knew that, didn't you?
I hate to make mistakes. Hate it.
But like you said a little bit earlier when you were referring to
Terry
Logan's
the
style,
human machine.
That's right. The human machine does make mistakes. And that's why we're all the better for it. Mike Niehaus picks up the spare. So Jerry Eckel will move on his first time in our King match. That's coming up on the Udapole King of TV Bowling. Stick around.
Last week during our untelevised Youth King of Bowling, Dave Walters shot a 637 with handicap at Pinhouse to become our Youth Bowler of the Week. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation, salutes Dave Walters.
Hey, let's get something to drink. Let's forget about it.
No, come on, it's no problem.
So, how do we get back in?
Hey. Okay, come on, let's go. You got the keys?
And welcome to the 25th anniversary.
He's looking at that 750 bills we're going to give away to today's king. Frame number 1 continues to live in that pocket.
I went down and talked to Jerry in between matches, Tommy, and said, you're looking great. No comparison to, you know, the last time you were on. What's the deal? He says, I've worked on staying slow. He didn't change his tempo at all. He says he's got a great shot. He feels good. I'm looking for another big game out of him this time.
And here's our current king, Bob Schoemer. Man, now you know the thing about Bob, and maybe that
there we go. Where's the beat? There it is.
He got some help last week. I remember those last couple of strikes he rolled. I mean, that was the farthest places from where he wanted to be in terms of the line, but he got the help. He got a little right there. That's the turn and revolution that we talk about so often, Tommy, giving him that little extra edge. Throwing the thunderbolt, the thunderbolt today, which is a ball designed to hook a lot. So we got a big hooker throwing a ball that's designed to hook a lot. And to set up the match, as we saw with Mike Niehaus, the left lane
is the lane that's playing a little bit tighter for the right-handers, leaving the 2, 4, 5, 8. There you see it. The 5-pin still wobbling just a wee bit, but on a strike, the count doesn't hurt him, but the spare is not easy.
Leaf recipe chicken bucket we're looking at there.
There we go.
Good stuff.
Look
I'll tell you,
out.
love them plates. Good
Whammo.
cover.
Very good cover.
Have me a Pepsi and a bucket of Lee's famous recipe, and maybe an hour later I'll go hang them to those little kings. Right there, the lady to your right is Mrs. Bettinghouse.
That's right, Jerry's mom, Rosemary.
Isn't that great?
I got her out and got her up here to see the show. By George, proud of her son's establishments.
They are fine.
As in plural.
As establishments, yes.
Jerry Eckel looking to continue that hot hand, and he does. Boy, Jerry really looking good today.
He sure is.
Well, not the Jerry we saw in our last telecast, but working on tempo, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of it is tempo. You work on it, and you work on it, and then it becomes natural. And then all you have to do is concentrate and play the lanes. Jerry Eckel is doing nothing today other than feeling the tempo of his game, and he's rolling very, very well.
Jerry, as Jen told you a little bit earlier, 50 years old, a pipe fitter at the Formica Company. Married, has 3 children. Didn't have the line that time, went a little high.
No, I didn't jinx him that time. He did
That's
it
right.
himself. I was
That's
going
right.
to say it, but I said no. Leave it go.
Good thing you did too, Jen.
That beautiful probe is unfortunately safe again as we look at the culprit this time, the 610. The right-hander's 4-7. That's what happens when you go a little high in the pocket, and that's exactly what Jerry did in the 3rd frame.
Well, we'll have to see what Tom Schiller brings us next week. He just told you he brought out the probe today, and that is a good-looking automobile.
I understand they've got 3 in, and they all sold within 2 hours as they got to the lot.
That's
It
pretty
is a
much,
nice-
yeah, nationwide.
Yeah.
I understand
He
they
can't
sold
get them
out.
in? It's a great car.
Well, then what are we plugging it for?
Like that name.
Because we were going to give it away, Dave.
Oh, okay. If you can't, you know
We
what?
can't buy it, but we
Yeah,
can get it.
why promote something that we can't sell? I'll tell you this.
They'll get them in. They'll get them in.
Look, I was going to say, look at this ball. Yeah, you got the ball in. Will it hold? No, it didn't. He drives right straight through. A worse shot than Jerry Eckel. It did go even higher yet, cutting through, leaving the 3-6. A choppable spare, but Bob will move to the left-hand side of the lane, kill the ball going cross lane coming. Shouldn't be that much of a
Talked about Bob's style a little bit last week, Dave, and maybe for the folks at home who didn't catch our telecast, drastically different from many of the bowlers we see week to week.
Well, exactly. He's picked little parts of successful bowlers' games out and adapted it to his own game, and he is very, very strong, which enables him to do to the bowling ball what he does do. Now, the younger players at home, I want to caution you. There are some things you can do to your body trying to torque the ball up or turn it a lot at an early age that can hurt you later. Learn the fundamentals of the game now. Listen to your instructors, work on the fundamentals, and then when you get stronger, you can look like Bob Schoemer.
Good advice, Dave. I like that.
Yeah, I think the moms will like that too, because
I hope
those neurological bills get a little steep.
You would know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure do. A $3,000 elbow. But I can lift those little
But is
kings
it
now.
bionic? That's right.
Wish it was bionic.
Right.
So instead of the $6 million man, we can call you the $3,000 man. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, inopportune time for that.
Catastrophe strikes. The 6-10. One of the biggest splits you're going to see, other than the 7-10. But one big difference. This one is makeable. Jerry Eckel's going to move all the way to the right-hand side of the approach. Going to shoot cross lane, killing the ball, trying to hit the extreme left edge of the 4-pin. I'm sorry, the 4-pin, and slide it over into the 10. It's close.
Oh, gave it a good shot. You hear the crowd in the background, and they give him a well-deserved round of applause there. He gave that a gallant effort. But nevertheless, it is an open frame. And how many times have we seen over the past 7, 8 weeks, 9 weeks? An open frame has come back to haunt many a competitor. Now, will Jerry Eckel regroup and come right back here on lane number 9 with 10 in the pit. Let's watch.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at him smiling. A little, he said, what happened? I threw a good ball. You do throw a good ball when you leave the 6-8 in this case, or the right-hander's 4-9. All it did was just roll off so incredibly hard going through the pocket. It cuts through and misses the 5-pin, or misdirects the 5-pin, I should say, Tommy. Tough break.
Do you split this?
No. You try to slide this one over just like, no, not like that.
No.
You're supposed to hit the pin that's always in front. Little quick spare shooting lesson here for splits. When you look at the different rows of pins, you always try to pick the pin that is most in front of the other one. And then the momentum of hitting it and sliding it over, you can create some sort of momentum or area. 2 costly splits, 4th and 5th frame. Bob Schoemer, the beef they call him, smells victory already. What a shot. I'll tell you what, he threw a great ball, but it obviously deflected, almost leaving the 7-10, but getting out easily with the 10-pin.
Well, Dave, there's a situation where you talked about the fact that the guys who have the high velocity and high revolutions on the ball normally get those corners to fall.
Well, that's right, but every once in a while, Tommy, again, the release is such a technical thing that if he varies it just the smallest amount in through where the thumb position is supposed to finish about in the 12 o'clock position and lift up through it, if you twirl around it, it delays the roll maybe 6 or 7 inches down the lane. Doesn't sound like much when you're on a 60-foot lane, but it changes the angle of entry into the pocket and the way the ball's going to hit.
6 or 7 inches, and then the difference between cashing in on the big bucks is our king and
Wow.
going home 3rd or 4th.
Lots of splits coming up here all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Think the lanes are changing a little bit?
Lanes are obviously changing, and the players are not adapting to it quite as quickly. And again, it won't happen as quickly to you at home in your leagues or open play because you don't have all the hot lights. But we do have the oil being dried up a wee bit. The players aren't picking it up as quickly as they might.
Well, we talked about Eckel having an open frame in his half of the 5th, and now in Schoemer's half of the 6th, he has an open frame.
We've got a tie ball game here, don't we, Dave?
Very potentially, with a spare strike or a strike spare, whichever way you want to look at it, would give Jerry Eckel 104 in the 6th frame, which is equal to what Bob Schoemer now has in the 6th frame.
Eckel's been on target for the afternoon, but this game he's having his problems. And again, Dave, is there any kind of adjustment that you could see that Jerry may want to make due to the lanes changing a bit at this point?
Well, Tommy, it relates back to what we talked about earlier. Remember, he was having such great success. I asked him, he said, what? I'm trying to keep my feet slow. I'm working on my tempo. And when you're working on your tempo and keeping your feet slow, the hardest thing in the world to do is throw the ball harder, which is exactly what he should try to do at this point, unless he makes a 2-in-1 move with his feet, 2 boards to the right in his case with his feet, and 1 board with his mark to the right should find him more oil to play with. I'm sure we'll see some sort of adjustment on this shot.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well,
more oil to play with.
They play in a certain area, and he's been there for, well, this is the 4th game on this pair of lanes with the left-handers, okay? That oil moves or changes, moves around. You have to find fresh oil in order to skid the ball further down the lane to save all those revolutions. And you can find that oil by going to an unplayed area of the lane, and there was the adjustment I was telling you about.
Well, we've still got some paper left. That was Eckel's 7th frame.
There you see it. Went with a little more speed. The optimum thing to do. And there you go. The reaction, 10 in the pit. Every pin doing its job and working overtime. The score tells the story. We've got a tie ball game. Bob Schoemer must strike in the 7th frame to keep it tied up, or he loses the advantage. He's strapped it already.
Oh, wow.
Stone 9. What did we talk about before? If you throw too much ball, you just crank it up, you rip the bottom out. We're going to watch it here. Look at this. right about the 12th board. The ball's going to hold. Is it going to hold? No, it's going to keep driving right straight to the 5-pin. Second one back. Look at it. Take it to the left. And then the scout misses the 9.
Let me hear that again. I like that.
Yeah, when you're bowling, you go through all kinds of stuff like that, right, Jen?
Oh, absolutely. I've heard worse, though.
Yeah,
Probably
That's
from
pretty
New Rad.
mild.
like shucks, right?
Yeah, darn.
Gosh darn it.
We also have with us today Sam Coleman and, of course, the Bettinghouse brothers, Dan, Roger, who is our proprietor here, and Jerry Bettinghouse, and Mike McDonald and his son Ryan, who comes out and passes out tickets every week for us.
And Irv Hoinke, as we talked about earlier in the telecast, also with us today from Northwestern.
Oh, wow.
Well, I tell you what, if it wouldn't been for the massive Hulk jumping into our camera site, we could show you a replay on a crucified strike. That ball was great. That's the best ball you could possibly throw in this situation.
Gentlemen, you see in the background there with a blue tie, that is Roger Bettinghouse, our
That's
proprietor.
Jerry.
Right.
Oh, no,
That
I'm
is
sorry.
Roger.
That is Roger. I'm sorry.
That's all right,
And then
Jen.
his mother's standing right there, who's come up from Florida to be with us this morning.
Rosemary knows him. You know, I mean, she could tell you which
Yeah.
one's which. They're not even twins.
Bring her
for
on
crying
over.
out loud. He's there. He's down on the floor. He was rooting at home. Solid 6-pin again. Just a wee bit high, Tommy.
Well, where do we stand at this point in the match, Dave?
Well, the match now swings back the other way. Jerry Eckel with a spare here. The score remains exactly tied to the pin. Don't go away. The advantage is with the king, Bob Schoemer, with a strike in the 8th frame.
Well, Eckel knows exactly what he has to do. And to start with, he cannot miss the spare. Well, he doesn't.
And I can guarantee you Bob Schoemer's got a lot of momentum coming off that last strike.
He was
threw a
fired
nice
up.
one. He was fired up.
There you take a look at it. Schoemer working on the strike in the 8th. Eckel with the spare.
All tied up. Jerry Eckel, 9th frame. We've talked about it 100 times. This is the frame where you have an opportunity to apply some pressure to your opponent or give him the edge. Jerry Eckel has an opportunity. Let's see what he does with it.
Oh, what an inopportune time for Jerry Eckel. It looked like he missed way high.
Missed way high is right. Watch here. You're going to see it. The head pin's going to go straight back. The 3-pin right there is going to go to the wall. He breaks down the 7-pin, but leaves the 4-10.
He almost made this last time out. We'll see what happens here.
Well, he knows he's got to go for it. There's really no in-between at this point.
Nope.
Oh,
Not even close.
well,
Bob Schoemer. But remember, we picked on Bob a little bit last week because the win was not a pretty sight. He didn't really throw the shot that we know he's capable of throwing last week to win. But now, let's watch. He's got an opportunity to salt it away on this match if he makes a good pitch. Look out. Oh.
now there is, look at that smile. The guys are yelling at him, beef, beef, and he's saying, you better believe it, partner.
Well, right here, you're going to see it, the put away. Almost a put away anyway. 1-3 pocket annihilated, no deflection here. 10 pins in the pit. Every pin doing its job for Bob Schoemer. He wanted to reprieve himself from last week by a sloppy win. Buddy, he earned it right here. One more, it's all over.
Let me ask you, is it harder? Well, he's not going to wrap it up on that shot. Quick question, Dave. Is it harder to win when you are the king and defending your crown rather than coming off a couple of wins in the first 2 matches of the show and then going into the final match? Is there an advantage, or is there more pressure in one or the other?
Not really. You take one shot at a time, but the situation right now, Bob Schoemer, in order to lock up a win, needs his spare. He's got to have this spare.
Boy, Bob's really making this exciting for us the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's real excited about
No,
it.
I'm sure he's not. Good
Well,
grief.
I tell you what, the 8th frame, he makes a fantastic shot. There you look at it. He's disappointed again, and he ought to be. 9th frame, he throws a critical strike, annihilates him, but he opens in the 10th frame, 176. If Jerry Eckel strikes out in the 10th frame, he will win by 4 pins. But he must have this one.
This is it, folks. for the king. The first ball in the 10th. As David just told you, he's got to have 3 of them to be our king.
Did you see the concentration on that face, Tommy?
And there's where it pays off. Good call, David.
He was intent on striking. Let's watch the replay. There you see it. You don't see the face this time, but let me tell you what, it's all there. Look at it. Rooted home, Jerry. He's down on one knee. Yeah, you bet.
Boy, he made just a beautiful adjustment on that shot.
He did. He went with a little more speed. Both strikes, he threw some firmness. I guarantee you this ball won't be high. He will throw either a hair wide or flush in the pocket, but it will not be high. That's what he's saying to himself right now. Don't ease up. You got to have this one to win. There's no tomorrow after this shot.
You said it, Dave. He did not go high at all. He's been living in that pocket the first 2 games. Had some problems here, but you refer to that adjustment he had to make, and boy, has he done it.
Got to go with it. You got to go with the strength, the thing that gets you there. There you go. Look at him. Yeah, he likes it. 1-2 pocket filled up, 10 in a pit. They're out of here. Situation's this. He must get a 7 count to win. 6 is a tie. The big 5 would lose it for him. He cannot ease up and go high at all. He's got to throw hard.
Are you calling this one again, too? Won't miss high?
He better not.
Come on, Dave. Go out on a limb. There it is.
Look out. Look out. A winner by 1 stick.
Oh. And he did go high.
And he did. He did. I said he better not.
Well, one of the more exciting matches of the year. You see the smile on Jerry Eckel's face. He is our new king. We'll be back to hear from him in just a minute.
Last week, during our untelevised Queen of Bowling, our own Jennifer Kleekamp shot a 655 at Pinhouse to become this week's top woman qualifier. Jennifer, Lee's famous recipe, salutes you.
Honey, I know you've had a rough day. I'll stop by Lee's tonight.
We know what brings you back to Lee's famous recipe. Fresh, tender, moist chicken with that special home-style taste. And for vegetable lovers, buttery corn on the cob, creamy, crunchy, fresh salads, green beans cooked with chunks of country ham. We know what you want. Oh, yeah, you'll be back.
Lee's famous recipe, the great taste keeps you coming back.
Then is now again, Cincinnati, and the flavor's pure 14K. Time to enjoy the crisp, refreshing taste of a Cincinnati legend. Beautiful 14K. Remember the name. You'll never forget the taste.
High above the blue chip city, Seven Hills, lies one of the West's favorite entertainment centers, Western Bowl, where in January, the Honkey Classic began another year of competitive tournament bowling. Since 1975, over $1 million in prize money has been awarded each year to men and women bowlers. Additional early bird prizes are paid to winners during the first 6 weeks of the Honkey Classic, the world's largest handicap tournament. Share in the excitement. Western Bowl on Glenway Avenue, Western Hills.
Spring comes early at America's Choice. America's Choice is eager to announce our spring cleaning sale. Reduced prices on all 1987 homes and specials on all 88 models. It's your choice at America's Choice. Free microwave, free washer and dryer, or free park rent. Come on by this weekend for all the exciting details. See why Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky are making America's Choice their choice in mobile homes in Milford and Walton, Kentucky.
Our king this week, Jerry Eckel, averaging .230 to capture the crown. Jerry, $750 in a trophy on behalf of the BPA. Congratulations, Tommy.
All righty, we'll see Jerry next week. By the way, folks, we are taking donations for the David Newrath Scholarship Fund so he can work on his math between now and next week. And, of course, you may want to help him out on that. Well, for David Newrath, Jennifer Kleekamp, I'm Tom Brenneman saying so long from St. Bernard and Pinhouse Lane.
The Greater Cincinnati BPA's Beautiful King of Bowling. Brought to you by Beautiful 14K, the Cincinnati legend. Remember the name, you'll never forget the taste.
That certain hunger takes you, and the roses is your guide. Cause there's no substitution. You need to be pizza-fied. Now, pizza don't take a lot of talking. You can feel it in your bones. That's how the roses does it. And why they...
Jim, here's your route. Okay, he's going around here, get hit on the screen. Okay, now you got to throw the ball, not like that. You got to get it